hadn't done before. And I think assumptions right now are exactly the ASSUME. I think for us to assume anything, if we want to do good in it, we better prepare for it. And if we want to if we want to finish strong, we better have the best. I mean, we just need to assume everything's a challenge for us and approach everything as a challenge, and not assume just because we were doing something good before the week off, we better not assume that we can not have to get right back to detail and get it done. So we're going to do some things for the weather. I think we may practice later one night or something.
Can you speak in a little bit more detail of what you noticed about their defense? I want to ask specifically about, you've run for nearly 200 yards on them in each of the last 5 games that you've played, but they're also now leading the league in league games and overall in rushing defense. What's made them tougher against the run this year compared to other years?
Those 2 inside guys, I think they've had good players, but I think those 2 inside guys are dominant players. Like I said, at 99, I think he's Defensive Player of the Year. And 70, which is Emery Ateague, he's right there with him. I don't know. I think maybe we've got some of these guys that we had on our recruiting list to do clothes on, hoping not walk around mad.
Does that make them vulnerable to the pass? I mean, when you look at their
numbers,
they're at the bottom of that list.
I think passing yards sometimes grow because you can't run against somebody. It doesn't necessarily means you can be at the bottom of the passing yardage deal and be undefeated. I don't know what the direct correlation between giving up passing yardage. Now, a defensive pass efficiency, I think, is a considerable number.
And I know you're passionate about what I'm fixing to ask you about November football. Just how it's different, what it will be different for this bunch, considering all that's out there for them. How will November become different?
Number one, I think you can get into a staleness factor. I think you can get into, I've taken this 6-inch step 10,000 times, and that 6-inch step grows to be a 12-inch step, and next thing you know, you don't have a base and you're overextended and you miss a block. And tackling, instead of being really focused tackling, ends up being an arm tackle. And some teams can't sustain the detail of the game into November. And then and the other factor is that people know who you are. If you're good, you have tendencies. And when you're good and you have those tendencies, then people, it becomes more of a known factor. You put the combination of not being focused on detail with somebody making it harder on you because they know where you're going and what you're trying to do, then there's usually more upsets in November than there is any other month.
How meaningful though that the November to remember thing. I mean, we talked about before.
Well, when you're going to
play in November is
there's several ways to say this. You're going to remember November, and you can say the people that keep up with you, but you're going to remember when you played good enough to win a championship. And you're going to remember how you left the field. Tree Will as a senior, Jamal as a senior. They're going to remember that last feeling they had in that uniform. And it's tick, 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 not very far away.
It's becoming even more important November, considering the character.
This is the most important November we've ever had.
And if the schedule works out right, a good November will get you into December.
That's it.
Don't worry about November.
That's it. But these are the 3 best OVC teams at this point in time, too. And you might question that about EKU, but let me tell you, on a talent basis, don't question it.
Will each of the players address the November deal about how more intense November becomes, how important this month is to finish it off? Just that whole dynamic of the month of November.
Go ahead, Tree.
November, we all know how it is, so it's getting repetitious from all the other previous weeks, so we gotta just keep coming like how we've been going, and we we know we got to achieve a goal at the end of this season. So we're going to come hard in November. And, you know, in practice, it's probably getting shrinking because, you know what I'm saying, we're not putting on pads, we're not hitting, not taking each other to the ground. So we got to go off that, and we just got to bring it to the field on Saturday, and we just come prepared, and we ready to play and win.
Okay.
I see this November being like the time of the year when the weather changed, things get cold. And also, we're coming down to our last 3 games of our regular season. So I know, like an old coach of mine used to say, that's why girls don't play the game, because it's cold outside. So, you know, we all men here, so we all going to come into this with this week of preparation, continue to play hard, practice hard, and hopefully come up with the win.
Tell them that wasn't me.
No, sir, it was a high school coach, Coach Abrams.
Your turn.
Well, dealing with November, I can say personally that I haven't dealt with a lot of November football, so for me it'll be a new challenge, and I'm looking forward to the challenge with my teammates to be able to go out and try to dominate in the month of November, doing everything we're supposed to do and continuing our journey to where we're trying to get.
There's been no indication of anything falling off, like I said.
What'd y'all do on the weekend?
They all went home.
I know. What did y'all do on the
Jacksonville,
weekend?
Mississippi, Town Creek, Alabama, Griffin, Georgia. He had the furthest to go.
Yeah. Well,
They did some cooking at his house because I've been to his house.
I went home. My mom left and went to Dallas to sing with the choir. But I took my girlfriend with me. We went and played pool, and I took her to different eating places down there.
They got any good food in Jackson?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I went back to good old Town Creek, Alabama.
Definitely went to the smallest place.
It's definitely the smallest place, a good country town. I love it, though. It's where I grew up. A lot of friends, family, a lot of love in the community. So I got a chance to see my mom, grandparents, all of my other relatives, and high school friends who just hung out until the
They all run you down and congratulate you.
Yeah, they all came up hugging me, talking about the successful season Jacksonville State's been having, and ranked number 2 in the nation and everything. It's just the hype. The hype is going around all over the world, so it's nice to see you go home and see a lot of friends support you and everything.
Who cooked?
I did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Tree.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah. I went home. My mom just had surgery, so I've been at home taking care of her and just chilling at the house. I went to some more family house or to some other family up the road, and I chilled them for the weekend, costume party and stuff like that. But
What'd you go with?
A tree.
Football.
I didn't dress up.
Oh.
I didn't know.
Oh,
But I ain't do too much. I was just trying to recover.
What you cook? You still didn't tell me what you cooked.
Fried chicken, macaroni and cheese. I had some rolls, mashed potatoes and gravy, potato salad,
It's a
green
big old
beans.
fig. It was Halloween.
some carbohydrates in
not
that.
You cook big on
We need to
Sunday.
weigh you.
Nah. Still 289.
Coach.
Yeah, I ain't worried about you, Skinny. Well, we excited and hope that, any of y'all ever been 11-0?
Yes, sir.
All 3 of y'all?
That's it. High school.
Well, I had. If we're winning, it's probably because y'all been around more than I have, maybe. Jamal was on a national championship team as a freshman, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
At Gulf Coast Junior College.
Don't go beat.
Yes, sir.
So you've never been a part of 11-0?
Been 10-1 a bunch. And all you do is spend the whole winter thinking about the one. Really. So, we got long-term goals. The biggest thing right now is Eastern Kentucky, because I do think they're the key to November for us. I think they're the key. Not disrespecting or saying less than down the road, but they're the key.
Are they